today in the studio. This is going to be off the hook. That's all I can tell you. Number one, Bunny's got a Scottish shirt. Bunny's got a Scottish belt. Bunny has his Scottish flag. And who is sitting next to me? Evan McRoberts, banjo player who happens to be Scottish. Evan, thank you for visiting the studio today.
Not a problem, anytime.
I want to go off right now by just saying thank you for coming here. Thank you for this interview today. It has taken quite a long time to get this gentleman here. He's been on the road for a while. Oh, and by the way, something new for the studio. He's a picker, ladies and gentlemen. A bluegrass picker. We've never had a bluegrass artist in this studio before. This is a first time for the studio and for you that follow us. Evan, I want to thank you for joining us. I'd like to start off with, number one, what age did you start playing?
I believe I was about, I can't do the math very well, but it was about when I was in 7th grade. 7th grade, everybody knows that the hit TV show Duck Dynasty was out. And it was at its peak, I suppose, at that point. And I had the crazy idea. I remember it was a Thursday night. I was in the basement watching Duck Dynasty, 8 p.m. on A&E. And I said, well, let's look up banjo music. Because them guys were, I believe they were from Louisiana, Alabama, somewhere in there. Maybe I'm wrong, but nonetheless, they were Southern people. And I said, okay, let's look up banjo music. And the first thing that I saw was Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs and the Foggy Mountain Boys playing Foggy Mountain Breakdown, which was the original. That's their tune. You know, Bonnie and Clyde, and pretty much any festival you go to, you're going to hear Foggy Mountain Breakdown, and that was the original recording. And I remember my brain just detonated when I heard it. And ever since then, I've been wanting to learn it. I'd say probably about 2 years later, I was in high school at that point. I got my first banjo, started plucking around on it, and my good friend Dean Sapp was the teacher of mine. He's up there in Elkton. The guy builds great guitars. Great guitars. If you need any repair work on your guitars, banjos, mandolins, upright basses, about anything that has a string on it, Dean Sapp can get you. He can get you situated.
This is the shop right off 40. You make the left off 40 and go down the hill. He's on the right side.
Now he's right on 40. If you go up, as you're heading towards Elkton, you go through Mechanics Valley Road.
Yeah.
He's on the other side of 40. There's a liquor store, a little bit of grass, and there he is. There should be an old tour bus sitting there. That's Dean Sapp.
Okay, yeah. Well, we all know the liquor stores in Elkton, baby.
Yeah, he's the one that got me set up, and it took a while, but I think I'm doing pretty good for picking for about 6 or 7 years now.
That's awesome. So, number one, I mean, what the hell made you pick up a banjo?
I just heard that sound, that it's the Scruggs sound, the way Earl had applied that drive, power, and speed into his picking, it just lasted with me. Ever since then. Ever since that, first time I heard that recording, I was looking up all this Flatt and Scruggs material on the internet. Of course, back in the day it was different. But for me, it's all YouTube based, and it's just stuck. I heard it one time. I bet you I wasn't even halfway through that video. Mind you, that original cut of Foggy Mountain Breakdown was probably only, I'd say 2.5, 3 minutes long. Wasn't very long. Just banjo, fiddle, banjo, fiddle, banjo, fiddle, and that's it. Not much to it.
A duo.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it really, Foggy Mountain Breakdown really was a hoedown.
Yeah.
An old fiddle tune back in the day, but of course, your dobro players, mandolin players, just about anybody will jump in and take a break on it because it's so well known.
Yeah. It sucks because there's a hoedown every night in Baltimore, but yeah, he went there.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I mean, all my asinine shit aside, the complication of a banjo. I work with a gentleman by the name of Frank Joyner, who goes by Skip. His father is a professional picker. His whole family is professional pickers. My mom raised me on picking. The Osborne brothers, the cuckoo birds, Jesus, God help me. Don't want to hear it again because that's all I heard growing up. But the thing is, the complication of the fingers. Now, how many picks are you using?
So we got 3 picks in total. You got 2 finger picks on your index and middle finger. And mind you, this is for scrug style. So you got index and middle, then you have a thumb pick on your thumb, of course. Of course, I'm right-handed, so it's all in the right hand. And of course,
but here we're left-handed.
That's right. Believe it or not, I'm right-handed. Poppy Jim is left-handed. I'm not. But yeah, 3 fingers on the right hand. You got 3 fingers between 5 different strings, playing a variation of rolls. So you can have a 3-2-5-1, 3-1-5-1, 2-1-2-1, 5-1-5-1, 4-3-1-2, all this stuff. It's a lot.
Keep going.
It's a lot.
I was giving the mathematical sign language here. 3, 2, 1, 5, 6, timeout.
Yeah, but on the left hand, it's just like guitar or anything else. You fret your chords or doing slides and pull-offs, things like that. But the right hand is where it's at.
Well, yeah.
That's where you got to
just
do a lot of your thinking and pay attention to what you're doing and what you're trying to learn.
I mean, the bunny himself plays bass, plays drums, keyboard, modulator. Never has been able to play guitar because of a motorcycle accident when I was young. But, excuse me, watching someone play a banjo and how they can manipulate their fingers has always, I'm not going to say intimidated me, but it has astonished me to have that talent for the control over each digit. That has always blown me away. Yeah, I pick on the pickers, but I grew up on them. I was raised by them. Love them to death. It's just that there's no way in hell the bunny can do it. So what age did you start at again?
I believe it was about 13 or 14 years old.
Well, what age did you start at? We want to know your age.
Well, I'm 23 right now. 23 in 2022, April being in the month of April. I have a hard time doing the math, honestly. I was in middle school, so I was young and dumb.
Yeah.
7th grade.
We all were, and actually I still am too. So, also, as far as the banjo goes, now I'm going to ask you your personal preference as far as you like, but also like the other models and manufacturers. Let's begin with this. What is your preference of banjo? Who's the manufacturer?
Gibson.
Gibson?
Gibson, period. Back in the, really from the mid-1920s up through the 40s, they made banjos, guitars, mandolins, but their banjos in particular, they called them master tones. And they were a banjo, it'll kind of be hard for you all to see, but between the rim and the resonator, there's this block of metal, which is called a tone ring. Which gives
Hold her up there, baby. Hold her up.
It gives you a lot of power and sustain, and the majority of banjos, if you can see, it's right where my finger is, right there. It's reflecting a bit. It gives your banjo a lot of power. And for the most part, when it comes to 5-string bluegrass banjos, any one of them that's made after the pre-war era, which is about all of them, they're all going after this sound. Mind you, this banjo is not a pre-war Gibson. It's a RB250 from the late 90s, early 2000s, but it's still carrying that same spirit. You have a thick wood rim, 3-ply maple rim, a thick nickel-plated tone ring. Not sure what exact metals are in it, but as the years went by, that had changed. You got nickel-plated hardware, metal hooks, metal tone hoop, solid wood resonator on the back to chamber all that sound, and then a nice thick mahogany neck, and mind you, the resonator is mahogany as well with a maple rim, and it just gives you loads of power. So if you had played a banjo, you know, that was made before this era, and they still make them in this day and age, it would be known as an open back banjo with, you know, I've seen some that have thicker rims in them, but they usually don't have a tone ring, and they don't have a resonator on the back. So they generally have not necessarily a bad sound, but it is definitely lighter and more subtle. I would say you can really make them crack and scream, but you know, this setup, opposed to an open back, this is going to overpower a open back banjo, like period. So I prefer to cling to Gibson, but there's other brands like Deering, Yates, Recording King. Recording King makes very good affordable banjos for all types of pickers. They have open back banjos, resonator banjos, with or without tone rings. You can get one with a ring in it or a hoop, whatever you prefer, and they're not all that expensive.
I like Latinas and hoops, baby.
But yeah, for me, Gibson is the way to go. You know, Earl Scruggs, Sonny Osborne, Little Roy Lewis, J.D. Crowe. I can't remember his name, but he plays with Russell Moore.
Russell Crowe.
Close enough, I guess. All them guys play a Gibson or a banjo that was designed after a Gibson. So, like, you know, the Yates and the Deering, especially for Deering, the golden eras, those banjos are designed exactly after a Gibson. So, if you don't want a Gibson and you still want that top-notch quality, just build quality, appearance, and playability and tone, you're going to want to go with a Huber. Steve Huber, he has done extensive amounts of research on banjos, and I believe he actually melted down an entire tone ring. The entire thing, mind you, it's a big hoop of metal, probably weighs 2 pounds or so from a pre-war. And he got the metal compositions down right, you know, what it's made of, and him and his people make some phenomenal banjos. So, but for me, it's Gibson.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman just educated this bunny's ass on banjo manufacturing. I had no idea about the wood wrap, the metal internal. I mean, and actually, for those of you that are new to a banjo, this man just educated you too.
I was in 12th grade. We had to do a final project for English, and that's what I did it on.
Yeah.
I gave that woman probably 6 or 7 pages of how these things go together from start to finish, from the tailpiece all the way up to the tippy top of the peg head. She wanted a research. I was like, all right, I'll give you research. And she got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, hide the knives. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Well, first of all, nope, hold up. Let's back up a little bit, because if you all haven't noticed, George has not been here for the past 3 months. George is back, and you all know who George is. Where was George? George went to our great friends in Japan, Tokyo Groove. Those beautiful ladies. He decided to take a visit. They actually paid for it. And we're waiting for the pictures. But he spent 2 months in Japan hanging with Tokyo Groove. Those 5 talented, unbelievable female artists. He's back now. He apparently had to stay in a box for like 2 weeks because of protocol or whatever, but George is back. Now, the other thing we have is studio endorsement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that we're getting sponsored again by one of our most favorite products. And I can't believe these people actually reached out to us, because I thought we were going to get sued by it. But no, they've reached out to us and asked us to continue the endorsement in a respectful way. Where do we get Snoop Dogg involved? But, Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a cold, cold, snowy Saturday night. And you're a single male. And you're actually stuck in the house because you just can't get out of the house. And you're thinking about going to X-Hamster, X-Videos, and I'm trying to remember the third one that I'll always frequently watch once in a while. But the thing is, when you are home alone as a male, all you really need to do is just take home a sweet bitch. This little lady right here will treat you so fine. Why? Because she's the sweetest bitch. And you are doing?
I must say, the stuff definitely works. We were going to do a banjo right here, but I didn't grab it. If you want to learn to play the banjo, or even if you can't play the banjo and you want somebody who will take care of you for your life, even if you have left the one you loved for another one, because you're into that kind of stuff. Get some of this, and you'll be straightened out and then playing the old love song.
Gonna take her home, she's gonna be mine. Gonna take her home in quick time. Gonna, oh damn it.
Just one verse of that.
Alright.
It's cheap, it's strong, it'll get you situated, I guarantee you.
And the lady will take care of you.
Guaranteed.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen. This has been the most unique interview because, again, our first time in the studio with having a different type of musical influence, which we love, because this studio loves anybody that can play any instrument. And the cool thing is as you're witnessing now, it's expanding. Hopefully we can get like church bell ringers, dolphin singers. That would be pretty cool.
You need to get that one girl on here. I don't know if you'd seen it, but this girl was at a baseball game and she had a saw, like a hand saw.
Oh yeah,
she had the fiddle.
I've seen that done before. Yes,
we need some of that.
We need some. Okay,
that,
ladies and gentlemen,
if anyone can do it, bring it on.
Do you remember her name?
I do not, but I guarantee you I can find it. Okay.
Well, if you are the soul player and you're watching this right now, send an email to witchesdenstudio@gmail.com. We'll get you in here. We want to get you out there. We love it. All right. I'm going to do the one question and the one question only. Evan, if you had to be born a hot dog, would you want to be a Cocktail Frank, a Nathan's regular, or a ballpark that plumps when you cook it?
For personal I think I'd have to be a Nathan. Them things taste really good. I'm not into cannibalism and all, but they taste really darn good. I used to work for a warehouse and they'd give us a bunch of stuff and they actually sold Nathan's, and I'll tell you, they went. I know I'd be taken care of if I was born a Nathan.
All right. Actually, I have to totally agree with you for the Nathan's hot dog. They are the best. Oh, product endorsement. Don't forget it's Nathan's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number one, we're going to close this out with there's going to be actual live footage of Evan recording today in the studio. It's going to be our closer. It was actually, I'm not going to say a challenge for the studio. It was totally different, the way we had to set up microphones and adjust things. But it was an honor for us to have him here today. And Evan, studio thanks you, man.
Absolutely, thank you.
Studios thanks you. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget, we thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We love you all, and we're going to leave you now with Evan Scottish, baby. Don't forget the belt buckle. McRoberts. Have a good night. Love y'all. Bye.
All right, this is Evan McRoberts here with the old Gibson RB250. We're going to do a simple tune called Cripple Creek up in the key of A.